Back on Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta, asking to head over to youtube.com. Put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your search browser. Leave us a comment there and subscribe to our channel. We are also free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, which includes Spotify, Odyssey. Find us there, leave us a 5-star review, and then give me a follow on my personal Twitter page. That would be at JMCH316. Well, it's been a good last, week or so for Matt Olson. Olson again last night had a 2-homer game, his second 2-homer game that he's had here recently. And it starts to feel like that power stroke of getting balls over the fence. Now, let me go ahead and clarify now, okay? Because I know exactly what the comments and things like that. Well, Chuckery, he's leading the league in doubles. Okay, great. You know who has the all-time doubles record in baseball? Earl Webb. Google Earl Webb and tell me if you know anything about him, when he played, whatever like that. Okay? With all due respect, Matt Olson wasn't signed here to bang balls off the wall, right? He wasn't here to hit a gapper to the wall and take it to second. He's here because he was a 39-homer, 100-run, 100 RBI guy in Oakland. 39, 100. Okay? Nobody looked at his, well, he had, his bips and baps and his balls in play, that was, third in the AL among left-handed guys who have the letters M-O in their name. No, he's here to mash it out of the ballpark and drive in a crap ton of runs. And when he comes up, he can hit a 3-run homer. And instead of being you're down 4-2, you're up 5-4 now, right? And now we finally got to see that over the last week or so here. Matt Olson in his last 7 games, he's 8 for 27, which is a 296 batting average. He's got a 333 on base, but he's got 4 homers in 10 RBI. 4 homers in 10 RBI. That's an 815 slugging percentage with an OPS of 1.148. So almost 1150 on his OPS out there. And I know he talked about after the game last night, he's slowing his hands down. He tweaked his swing a little bit. That's good because I need him to be a big-time run producer in the middle of that lineup. Because let's be honest, okay? And I know Ozuna won a game over the weekend, but go look at where Ozuna's profile. We talked about this last week, okay? Ozuna's going to hit a bunch of home runs, but he ain't going to drive in a whole lot of runs. He's not driving in a whole lot of runs. In his last, between last year and this year, in 500 bats, he's like 21 homers and 56 RBIs. That ain't anything to write home about. Goal is to score runs, right? And if you hit home runs and there are a bunch of solo home runs, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good out there, right? When you get guys on base, you got to put the ball out of the ballpark. And Olson is just the catalyst for all that. And as this team moves forward, look, Adam Duvall ain't got a whole lot left in his career. Eddie Rosario is not going to be some long-term answer. Marcell Ozuna's got a couple of years left, and I don't think the Braves are going to re-sign him after that. This is the guy that you're counting on to be your 40-homer, 100-run, 100 RBI guy right in the middle of your order, right? And his job is to mash it out of the ballpark. While Dansby, if he's here, Ronnie, Ozzie running all around. They get on base. They do this. Michael Harris will probably move up toward the top of the order at some point in his career, and he's going to get on and steal a base and this, that, and the other. Rather than I'm looking up guys that played in the 1930s to see what record Matt Olson is, what do you want from Matt Olson? Would you rather he be challenging, Earl Webb for the doubles record or being talked about in the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa home run conversation? Well, he's only the 3rd guy ever to hit 60 homers in a year. I'd much rather have that conversation than talk about Earl Webb or Tris Speaker, right? Guys who played in a dead ball era when there was no such thing as color video or film or TV or anything like that in the world, right? So it's good to see Matt Olson getting this thing on track, and specifically with the long ball. And yeah, maybe it was a matter of time and this, that, and the other, but I didn't think it would be, almost at the halfway point of the season where we would finally start to see some of this power But it's encouraging to see that in the last handful of games, we've seen both of his multi-homer games. Those have come very recently here. And strangely enough, you got 10 RBI in a 7-game set. That's what Matt Olson is here for. If every 7 games I looked up and Matt Olson is 4 homers and 10 RBI, I don't think anybody would complain about that, right? And his on base, which was so high at the start of the year where he's drawing a lot of walks, I don't care if he's only a 333 on base percentage. If he's got an 815 slugging to go along with it, who cares what his on base is? My thing with Matt is hit the ball out of the ballpark. And it's encouraging that we're seeing that now. And the defense looks like it's got a little bit better. And look, give him credit. Look, last weekend was probably a weird scenario for Olson to be in as well, right? With Freddie coming back and Freddie getting a standing ovation every time and all that and the other. And Matt Olson knows who Freddie Freeman is. I mean, he's a baseball player. He's from Atlanta. He understands and knows. He's not unaware of what goes on with all of it. And I think that there was a lot of pressure on Matt Olson coming in to be the babe, the boy. You're replacing the legend. You're a hometown guy, right? Parkview High School and all this other good kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of pressure that goes along with that. And I think he's done a really good job of handling that. But that missing piece or that missing component that has been not there enough in Matt Olson's game is, turn a 4-2 game into a 5-4 game with one swing of the bat because you hit it 428 feet out of the ballpark. And now it's good to see that is coming back into his game because, like I said, that's what he was paid to do. He wasn't paid to chase down the doubles record. He's paid to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's paid to be a guy that's going to be in the heart of your order through the next 7, 8, 9 years, whatever that contract was. I don't know, whatever the length of all of it is. He's going to be the middle and the heart of your order. So glad to see that he's get this thing going. It was another good win last night. Again, a come from behind win last night that Olson spurned it on, and they're finding their home run stroke out of all of it. And they just don't seem to want to lose in the month of June right now, right? And by the way, the Braves' schedule really is favorable. You look at their schedule running through to the All-Star break. You got 4 with St. Louis next week. You're going to have a 3-game set with the Mets. But otherwise, you got 7 against the Nationals. You've got this series going on right now against Philadelphia, who isn't obviously the same team. And then you've got the Cincinnati Reds, who are the dregs of the universe after that. Things shape up really well for the Atlanta Braves to make this big run and get this thing going. It's down to 4 now. So we're in a full-fledged, pennant race right now. But if Olson can get that home run stroke going and be that big bopper and that big run producer in the middle of their lineup, Braves offense is going to be really hard to try to put your arms around and try to slow them down at all. All right, well, thank you so much for making Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery your first listen every day. We ask you to make A to Z with Mark Zinno your second listen every day as Mark is back talking all things Atlanta sports. It's opinions you may not like, but you got to hear. Check him out. He's also available, free and available on our YouTube page, Locked On Sports Atlanta. Subscribe to that. Also free and available to download on all your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Find us, leave us a 5-star review, and then give me a follow on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. We'll be back with you tomorrow as we get ready for NBA free agency coming quickly here. It is Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.